Pete Rozelle was one of the greatest commissioners the NFL has ever seen. Elected in 1960, he brought the National Football League to record heights and made it into what it is today, America's game. After the sudden death of then-Commissioner Bert Bell in 1959, the NFL found itself in need of a new commissioner. After 7 days of long negotiations and 22 ballots, the NFL owners finally compromised by selecting Pete Rozelle, who at the time was the general manager of the Los Angeles Rams. According to ESPN, the owners chose Rozelle because they believed he could be easily manipulated. Pete Rozelle got his start in the NFL in 1952 when he was hired by Tex Schramm to be the LA Rams public relations director. He left the NFL in 1955 to do public relations work for the Olympics in Australia. It has been said that Pete felt he truly belonged in the National Football League, so when he was offered a job as a general manager of the Rams, he jumped at the chance. He took the Rams and with lucrative TV contracts turned it into a very successful business. Despite the Rams having a losing record and 8 losing seasons in a decade, Pete Rozelle was voted to his commissioner post on January 26, 1960. The commissioner before him, Bert Bell, had signed a national deal to have the NFL championship games televised. Rozelle took this further. According to ESPN, he helped to push a bill through Congress that legalized single network contracts for pro sports leagues and negotiated a league-wide agreement that replaced the 12 teams in separate TV packages. In 1962, CBS paid $9.3 million for 2 years to televise NFL games, an agreement that spawned much larger contracts in the future. He garnered respect when he penalized 2 of the NFL's biggest stars, Paul Hornung and Alex Karras, for betting on games. In 1966, he worked with owners and Congress to merge the AFL and the NFL. This is one of his biggest accomplishments, as it brought about one of the biggest games, the Super Bowl. At first, Rozelle was worried that the AFL could not compete with the NFL teams, but his fears were eased when the Jets defeated the Colts in one of the biggest upsets in Super Bowl history. As big of an accomplishment as the merger was, he accomplished an even greater feat in the early 1960s when he got owners to agree to a new revenue sharing plan that allowed the NFL to sell its television rights as a single package, then split the proceeds equally among all the teams. This revenue sharing plan was unique among all professional sports, and it allowed small market teams to compete with the financially competitive richer teams. He then helped negotiate a TV deal, and according to the NFL, in 1962, CBS paid $9.3 million for a 2-year deal to televise NFL games. Vince Lombardi is quoted as saying, "What Pete Rozelle did with television receipts probably saved football in Green Bay." Because of the actions of Rozelle, television ratings soared, and in 1970, ABC's Monday Night Football debuted. Monday Night Football is now television's longest-running program, second only to 60 Minutes. It was stated in March 22, 1989 edition of the New York Times that Pete Rozelle decided to step down as commissioner as soon as a replacement for him was found. When asked why he was stepping down, Rozelle stated that, "I decided in October, but I didn't want to become a lame duck commissioner. It's just a matter of me wanting to enjoy my free time." Pete Rozelle made the NFL what it is today. Because of his actions as commissioner, the National Football League today is the most profitable and most widely watched professional sport in America. Without him, football would not be America's game.